Hello friends, I am Parag and I welcome you to Excel Basics course. Now in this course, what topics we are going to cover are jotted down here. So for every topic, I have created different sheets and we'll go through all these sheets one by one so that it ensures that we understand all topics sequentially. Okay, before getting into those topics, we'll understand the interface of Excel, as in like the options which you find at top, like home, insert, page layout. These options we'll understand, and also then some of the areas like your uh, formula bar, name box. Okay, so what is the purpose of these things? We'll try to understand that, and also post that we will understand some of the shortcuts. Okay, so let's start with the first topic, that is we'll understand the shortcuts, and before that the interface of Excel. So with this training, I have ensured that the basic concepts of Excel is covered. Okay. Now, a person who is very, very new to Excel, he should be able to work on Excel properly after understanding these concepts. Okay, that is the expectation. And yeah, there are certain shortcuts which I'm going to cover. So it will be good that if you keep something handy, some notepad or somewhere you can take down the notes. So yeah, let's get into the training. Now one disclaimer I would like to give here, that the data which I'm using here, it's a dummy data. It's not data of any organization. It's employee database which is been created, and it's a dummy data. Okay, so you'll be using this data throughout training to understand all various concepts. Now if you see at top, we find options like home, insert, page layout, formulas. Okay, so these are called as Excel tabs. Okay, uh, so if I talk about home tab, it has this ribbon associated with it. This horizontal strip, it's called as ribbon. And on ribbon, according to functionalities, the options are grouped. Like if I talk about like changing the fonts or changing the font type or font color. Okay, so anything related to font, all those options you'll find in this font section. Same way, if I want to do something on alignments, like making something align left or right or center, or maybe if I want to merge, so all things related to alignments, related to horizontal alignment, vertical alignment, you'll be finding it here. Okay, so cut, copy, paste option, you'll find it in the clipboard section. So according to the functionalities, the options are grouped. Okay, so these are called as tabs like home, insert, page layout, formulas, and all options of Excel are, categorized based on their functionalities, and they are the part of respective tabs. Okay, so whenever you want the respective functionality, you need to go to the tab and hit the button to get the respective functionality implemented on your data. Okay, so that is how it works. Now, this green button, file button, okay, if you click, you'll get options like open, new, save as. So basically, this is a button which you will find in every MS Office application, that it be Word, PowerPoint, Excel. Okay, because it's a standard one. So it contains the options like to open a file, save a file, you know, create a new file. So that's why you'll find that option in all MS Office applications. Okay, so this is called as file menu, and just above file menu, you'll find this small strip. This is called as quick access toolbar. Now, what is this quick access toolbar? Whatever options you need again and again, more frequent, I could say. Okay, you can have those options added here. So you can click on this drop down. You can select the option which you want to have in this list. So suppose if I'm using sort option again and again while working with Excel data. So you see here there's an option called sort ascending, sort descending. So if I need sort ascending again and again, so I can click on this and you'll find that sort option is added here. So this way you can customize this bar, and in that case, these options will always be in front of you. You don't have to hunt them across these tabs. So whenever the respective function is required, just select the data and click on the option that is required. That's why it is called as quick access toolbar. It allows you to access the respective item quickly. Okay, it could be further customized, as in like if you want to add some item and if that item is not present in this list, what you can do is you can go to more commands here, and then you can select any item from this list. Okay, these are all popular commands. If you click on this option, you get various tabs also. You can select tab and you'll find all options of that respective tab. So with this, you will be able to add any item as in any command. You just have to select that command, click on add, and that becomes a part of your quick access toolbar. Okay. So it could be for the customized as per the needs. Below the ribbon, you have this white box. This is called as formula bar. Now, formula bar is the box on which I'll get the content of cell. So if my content on a cell is text, suppose if I type here Excel, okay. So then if I click on that cell, you'll get Excel there on that formula bar. If my cell contains some formula, say now in Excel, formula begins with equal to. So I say equals 2 plus 3. This is a simple formula. If I hit enter, I got here 5. So on a cell, you will get a value, and on formula bar, you will get the formula. That is how it works. Okay. So formula bar, what is formula bar? It shows you the value of a cell if that cell contains any value. If a cell contains a formula, some calculation. So in that case, on a cell, you will get that value, and in formula bar, you will get that formula. Okay. So if you want to edit the formula, you can click on formula bar and edit that formula as per the needs. Towards left of formula bar, you will find the name box. Now, what is name box? Suppose if I click on a cell, every cell is identified by its column name and row number. Suppose current one is J8. That is how the Excel maintains data. It's a spreadsheet application, right? So what is spreadsheet application? Data in that application is maintained in the form of rows and columns. Okay, so if I talk about this cell, it is identified by column name, that is J, and row number, which is 8. Okay, and the name of this cell, you'll find it in that name box. Any cell you click, the name of that cell will be shown in this name box. Okay, now further, you will find sheets in a file. So if I create a new file anytime, you'll find by default 3 sheets added. Okay, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Of course, you can name them. You can right click on that name. There's an option rename. With this, you can rename the sheet. Okay. So by default, you'll get 3 sheets. Sometimes in some versions of Excel, you get 1 sheet by default. You can always add a new sheet. So if I want to create a new file, how do we create a new file? We say Control N. See, a new file is created. And in this, you see here, at by default, 1 sheet is added. If you want to add a couple of more, you can click on plus, and with this, you can add multiple sheets. Okay. Or if I want to toggle across the sheet, if I want to move back to previous sheet, or if I want to move to next sheet, how could I do that? Control page up and control page down is a shortcut to toggle across the sheets. Okay. Either you can go by mouse or you can use keyboard strokes or keyboard shortcuts to navigate. Now, how to close this file, the one which I have created? Control W is a shortcut to close the file. Okay. So if of course, I did some changes, and if I'm trying to close it, it's asking me, do you want to save that file? I'll say no. Okay. It came back to my previous file. All right. So this is how the file functionality works. Now, if you want to select the data, how could I select the data? Suppose if I click on this cell and I want to select the whole column, control space is to select the column. It selects the entire column of that sheet. Okay, until the last cell on the sheet, the entire column will be selected. Same way, if I want to select the row, this row number 6, complete row I need to select. How could I do that? Shift space. It selects the entire row. Okay. So control space to select the column, shift space to select the row. All right. Now, If I want to add a date on a cell, how could I add a date? Control semicolon, it adds the date. Okay. And if I want to add a time on a cell, we say control shift semicolon, it adds the time. Okay. So these are shortcuts to add dates and time. Now, you see here, this is also in date format, and the one which I got here on this cell, say if I say control semicolon, this is also a date format. Now, what is the difference between this date and this date? It's a format difference. This is called as medium date format or proper date format because it helps you to read the date properly, like 20th of March 2002. This date is also a date format, but it's called a short date format because it has that month in a form of numeric. Okay. So sometimes it becomes difficult to read this data. So, but then on Excel by default, you get data in this form. If you want to change it in this form, then there's a way of doing it. How? You need to click on that date and then right click, and then there's an option called format cells. Okay. You click on format cell, you'll get the format cell box. Here it is. And then from this date tab, you can select any date format that you want to add. Okay. Or there is a shortcut to apply this date format, the proper date format on this cell. On the cell, it applies that format. So what is shortcut? Control Shift Hash. Control Shift Hash is a shortcut to apply date format on the cell. Same way, if I want to apply numeric format on the cell, if my data is in some other format, maybe date or maybe currency, and I want to convert it in numeric format. So Control Shift exclamation, that's a shortcut. You see, it got converted to numeric form. If you want to have a number without those delimiters, as in that separators, okay, how could I do that? I said separator and that I want to have now that number without separator and that decimal place. So there is shortcut again, Control Shift tilde, okay, to get that number in general format. This is general format, it applies there. If you want to apply currency format, Control Shift dollar, that's a shortcut. So it applied the currency format. Okay. And if you want to apply percentage format, Control Shift percent, that's a shortcut to apply currency format. Okay. Uh, Percentage format, sorry. So how this percentage format works? Suppose if a person has scored 70 of 100, okay, so it's 0.7. But then if you apply a percentage format, like Control Shift percentage, it says 70%. That percent symbol also appears there. Okay, so it's a pure percentage format you've got applied. I'll remove this column. Now, if I want to select this column, the last column, loan amount, I click on that column, Control space to select that column. And now if I want to add some additional column to this, like towards left of it, okay, how could I do that? New column I want to add. Okay, either you can right click on this and say insert, or the shortcut Control Shift plus. Okay, Control Shift plus. And if you want to remove this column, then Control minus. Control Shift plus is shortcut to add the column. Control minus is to remove that column. Same it applies for row also. If I select a row, it adds the row. So Control Shift plus adds the row, and Control minus, it removes that row. So it depends like what you do, like whether you are selecting a row or whether you're selecting a column. Accordingly, it adds row or column. Okay. Better. So now, next step, next point, what I would like to show you is about fill series. Fill series. Okay. What do I mean by fill series? Suppose if I have 1 as a digit on my cell, on second cell, if I put 2, and if I put 3, now if I select all these values, and if I drag this dot, now this dot also has a good name. It is called as fill handle. So henceforth, I will be referring it as fill handle. Okay. So if I drag this further, you'll get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Okay. If I add today's date, control semicolon is to add today's date. Yeah. If I drag this further, it gets with the next date. So any sequence you add, like 1 to 3, and if you drag it further, it continues with that sequence. Okay. For date, you just have to add current date and it continues with next dates. Okay. So this concept is called as fill series. And instead of 1 to 3, if I put 2, 4, 8, you know, or 1, 3, 5, and then if I drag those numbers like this, it's going to continue. Yeah, I think I added some values on this before. That's why it's showing like this. But then, yeah, I will do it here once again. And that series was also not proper. 2, 4, 8, I took. Yeah, see. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, that series continued. Now I want to remove all these columns which are added. How could I remove that? Just select all these, say control minus. We already seen the shortcut to remove the columns. So control minus, and it removes the column. Okay. Okay. Now, if I put some value here, say suppose if I put a value as Excel. Okay. Now I want to have this value in front of every record. How could I do that? One option is you can drag this fill handle and you can get the value in front of every record. But then if your data is very big, this will take a time. To avoid that, what you can do is, what is simpler way? You double click on this fill handle. When you double click, it automatically drops that value in front of every record. Okay, till last record. Now, in this case, you need to ensure that left column should be completely filled. It should not be empty cell like this in between. Otherwise, it will come to this point and stop. It will not continue further because it will assume that this is the end of data. Here it's the end of data, and hence it will not continue further. Okay. So if left column is completely filled and if you want to have some value on all records, so just put that value in first cell, first record, and double click on fill handle. It will populate that value in all records. Okay. So, so this concept, what we just saw, when you type something and if you drag, it continues with remaining records. That is called as fill series. Okay. Then if I say I want to have a list of numbers from 1 to 50, now many times when we work on data, first column we add as serial number. Suppose if I add a column as serial number and I want to have numbers from 1 to 50 or 1 to 10, whatever, populated on that column. How could I do that? I'll put a first number, say 1. Okay, I'll align it in center. So I have aligned here. And now I want to have it now have the numbers from 1 to say 20. So typing those manually will take time. Okay. And if you put 1 to 3 and if you drag, again, it may take some time. And if you want to drag it till 20, sometimes you may move to 25 or 30. So if you want to do that quickly and exactly till 20, what you do, just select this cell. First, put the first number on that cell and then select that cell. Click on fill. See in home tab, you find one option here, fill. Then there's an option called series. Okay, fill series. You already have entered first number. You put here a stop value. Suppose I want to do it till 20. So put here stop value. Then ensure that step value is 1. Why 1? Because I need to continue like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be incremented by 1 always. That's why 1. And then I want to continue in column form, right? So there's an option here, series in rows or columns. I need to select here column. And now if I click OK, you'll see that it got me values from 1 to 20 in one go. Okay. So what was that option? Fill. Fill series actually. Okay, fill and then series option. So yeah, so that's the concept of fill series in Excel. Okay. So here we covered basic things like selection of data, okay, formatting of data, And also then we just saw series. When you track something from here, from one cell to other, what happens in Excel, that we see. Now remember one thing to note, that series doesn't applies to text. If I put A, B, and C, and now if I select these three values, okay, if I drag this further, it will not continue with D, E, F, rather it will repeat A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. So series, when you drag some values on a cell, series is not applicable for text values. Okay, it is applicable for numbers and date. Okay, regarding formats, we saw how to apply formats using shortcuts. Okay, any other formats you want to apply, you can right click on that cell on which you need to apply format, go to format cell box, and then you can apply the formats. And how to get that box, format cell box, what's the shortcut to apply, get that format cell box, Control 1. If I hit Control 1, it gets you format cell box. Okay. So with this, we complete here the basics of Excel. Basics as in the introductory part of Excel.